Hey, good morning or good afternoon, everyone. This is Pat Cowan, Certified Master Life Coach and Attitudinal Healing Practitioner. And I'm here today with Kathy, who's been so gracious and willing to share some of her journey with us today. So, Kathy, I just want to give you, first of all, a big shout out and thank you so much for being willing to share part of your life with us. And why don't you just take a few minutes just to introduce yourself, whatever you'd like for those watching to know, where you live or where you work or whatever you'd like people to know about you.
Okay, yes, my name is Kathy. I live part-time in Northern California and part-time in Arizona, and have recently started traveling around the United States a little bit to see places I've never seen before, which has been very thrilling. Um, I I work part-time as a private caregiver, and I've raised 8 children throughout the course of my life. They're all grown now and living their own lives, and I'm really, really happy to be at this point in my life where I I have a lot of years of recovery behind me, and especially in the last 2 or 3 years since I've been working with you, my recovery has been accelerated and my life has changed 100%.
Oh, well, you did the work. You did the work. So, in kind of looking back, where would you say you were in your life before we started working together?
I was in a miserable place. I had been in a miserable place for decades. There was a lot of there was a lot of confusion. I really didn't understand what was happening in my life. I just knew that I was very unfulfilled, very unhappy. My marriage was not at all what I knew it should be and could be, and was, available to some few rare lucky people that I had met. And I just was so stuck and felt really trapped in the relationship I was in because I had a core belief that good Christian women did not leave their husbands,
Yeah.
and finding out that that sometimes was not true was a very traumatic, um, horrible, and yet wonderful realization to me that God did want me to be happy, and I just didn't know exactly how to get there. I had a mask on. The world thought I was happy, and I tried to be happy, and I tried to project that I was happy. But like the rest of my family, I don't think anyone was happy. We just put on the fake act.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
So it had a lot of impact on where you were in your life. Yeah.
and
And
it finally just it just kind of culminated. It just built up and built up, and that straw that broke the camel's back was probably the day that you and I had a conversation, quite serendipitously. But it was one of those things where when the student is ready, the teacher will appear.
yeah.
And I think that's exactly what happened with us. God just put you in my life at the time, the exact day that I absolutely needed your experience and your friendship, and the conversation that we had just um, was so out of the blue, but it explained to me exactly what was going on in my life that I didn't understand before. You put a name and a title and a label to what was going on, and you helped explain to me what it was, where I just knew something was wrong, but didn't know exactly what it was.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, it was a blessing for both of us, I think. Working with
yes.
you has been a real blessing for me also. So, so much value, our time together. So as we work together over a pretty good period of time, but we did things together. And as you know, one of the things that I like to do is to offer people tools. Talk about the tool basket or the toolbox and when to pull those tools out. So as you kind of reflect on all of that, when you think about those tools that has been offered to you through my coaching. Are there some that really come to mind that you felt really did make a big difference for you?
Oh, there's so many that made a huge difference in my life. I'll just try and whittle down to just a few, but learning that there was a difference between reacting and responding was a big one to begin with.
Mhm.
Um, Lots of writing assignments that I took very much to heart. Some of them were like, what do I deserve? What um, what do I want out of life? Um, One of my favorites that helped me get to the place where I am today was um, to write a this or something better list or prayer. um, but something that I really appreciated was that you honored my time and my resources by offering a lot of reading materials to help accelerate my recovery. Also, a lot of videos that I took advantage of on YouTube that were free or that you lent me. So, all of those things together, plus so many more, but those really helped me so much to figure out what it was that I wanted out of life and then how to get it.
And how to get it, and how to get it. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So, what results would you say that you're experiencing now as a result of using some of those tools? Where are you in your life now?
Yeah. Well, um, one of the things that you taught me was um, to take a good hard look at myself, which was not fun. I always thought that I was a really nice person, but I discovered a lot of character defects and character flaws that were not um, serving me in my life.
Mm.
And so I made a list of all of the things that I didn't want to be anymore. And then I came back and shared those with you. And then you asked me, okay, now that you know what you don't want to be, figure out what you do want to be.
Who do you want to be? Yes.
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 So I went away and I prayed and I asked God to help me with that list. And He revealed to me the fruits of the Spirit and love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, faithfulness, and self control. And so that is where my new life began. And something else that was so important that really helped in my recovery that I didn't like to hear when you first said it, but you told me that if I ever wanted to have any meaningful relationships or healthy relationships in my life from here on out, I was going to need to find love and compassion for the person that had hurt me the worst in my life. And when you said that, the first thing, quite honestly, that went into my head was when hell freezes over.
Yes.
And then the next thing that I thought was, well, I'm willing, but I know it's going to take decades before I get to that point. But I was so willing to become a healthy person um, that I was so willing, and I just prayed to God, and God created a miracle in me. And within probably about 3 months, I truly felt love and compassion, and all the anger and hatred and rage that I had had toward this person just really melted away. And that was proven to be true because just recently he had a devastating um, medical emergency that happened with him that was a life altering thing. And whereas 3 years ago, I would have been rejoicing and, because I just wanted him to suffer so badly forever, for eternity. But I don't feel that way anymore. I truly just felt real sadness and a lot of compassion for him without wanting to be the one to go save him or take care of him. So I'm learning what is my business and what is not my business.
Yeah, good for you. Good
Yeah.
for you. I just really want to honor you for your willingness to do the work too, because that's
Yeah.
the other part of it, That's the
Yes.
other part of it. So um what would you recommend my coaching to, or who might you recommend my coaching to, and why?
Anybody who feels really stuck in their lives, who either does or doesn't know exactly what they want,
Hmm.
and then doesn't know whether they know what they want or doesn't know what they want, don't know exactly how to get from point A to point B, or how to get there. Um, that is what you specialize in, and you helped me so much. Where I ended up, it is not where I thought I was going to end up,
Yeah.
but it is. It was very hard to get here, but it was really so worth it. And my life is better than I ever imagined it would be
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
There are still a few things that I believe that God is going to tweak along the way. Well, probably a lot more than I am aware of today. but but um, but anyway, for anybody who just who needs to figure out, whose life isn't really working for them really well, they're confused or unhappy, and they may or may not know why. But I believe that you would be able to help them to just identify what is right in their life, what is wrong in their life, and within themselves, and then how to change that and how to get to a happier place.
Oh, thank you. Wow. Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. So,
Yeah.
as you know, from that place when you first started, sometimes it's a big risk to think about investing in yourself, to look at getting coaching of any kind. And how do people know whether it's right for them or not? How do you know? How do you know?
Well, for me, well, I guess I could answer that in two ways. For me, I felt like I had nowhere else to turn.
Mhm.
I just was at my bottom, and I had tried so many other things. I had been in a 12-step program for over 20 years, and that helped a lot, but I needed that last extra push. That it only took me so far.
Mhm.
So I really just needed someone else. And the second part of my answer is that um, I truly believe that God put you in my life at just the right time in
Yeah.
order to help me in the next few steps that I needed to take. So it was a personal survival. I was just grabbing onto the last rope that there was, and then God also placed you exactly where you needed to be in my life at the right time.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
for that. So I just really want to thank you for being so willing and so open with the journey that you've been on. I so much appreciate it. And the time that we have spent together, it's such an incredible joy for me to see and to work with someone with the kind of willingness that you had, because that's why you're where you are.
Yeah.
It's true that as a coach, I have the skills and the tools to offer, and but working with people, that willingness. And sometimes when we first start, we work with resistance. As you mentioned, there's resistance, and
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
not a bad thing, to just know where you are, that you're in resistance. So
Yeah. It wasn't all fun. There was a lot of tears.
yeah,
There was a
thank
lot
you.
of tears, and
Yeah, yeah,
I certainly I just really wanted to get well, no matter what it took, no
yeah,
matter how painful it was. And I did have limited money, but like I said, you honored that by giving me lots of other tools to help in between our sessions, with reading materials and videos that really did help me quite a bit. So I just was super willing. So anybody who just really wants to get well and be happy, I would definitely recommend you to them.
well, thank you. Thank you. And for those of you out there that are watching this, if you're on social media, and want to explore life coaching with me, you can private message me, or you can go to my website to Pat Cowan Life Coach. And there's a place on there that says work with me, and you can schedule a free 30-minute confidential clarity and connection call where we can chat. And you can ask me questions. We can discuss where you are in your life and if I'm the right person to work with you, and actually give you some beginning tools to get started. So yeah, so Kathy, again, thank you so very much. Blessings to you on this journey and where you are in your life now. It just fills my heart to see you as happy as you are, knowing where you were when we began working together. So
My
thank you.
profound pleasure.
Yeah. All right. Here's to all the wonderful things in your life that you deserve.
Thank you.
So, all right.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. Bye-bye now, everyone,
Bye.
and thank you.